Welcome back to Tales of Arise, where we are on Lenegis, and in this maintenance passageway, and we would like to speak to the manager, damn it. So, as we can't find any manager here, just a bunch of Zoogles that we have had to plow through, we are going to be going up this little transporter here. So let's do it. I bet this is the manager. Or a boss. Which are often the same thing.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
Okay, so
What?
sovereign power doesn't really run out. Okay,
Alphen.
flashback.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Dahnan. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dahna. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
Did they all share that experience?
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to. She looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Dahnan astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegis. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah, it was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Indeed. Let's be careful. Okay, yeah, we know what's coming up now. Healing spot. Yes, please. And let us proceed.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when...
We can talk later. Here it comes!
Here we go. Tormented limbs.
What? I've never known Faria to control Zoogles like that before.
How about with the stone that looks
See if I can attack
exactly
from the
like
behind.
the before?
Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handle the Zoogles, then we get some answers.
Jeez. Alright, let's yeah, we don't see them some of that. Is it gonna charge? I'd like to see some of its attacks. Go, Kisara.
Dragon Swarm!
Resonate with the
Demon
earth!
Fang!
Stalagmite!
Raging you apart! Here, field! Holy wall! Here comes I'm...
Negative day!
Oh, Rinwell.
Resuscitation!
Take this!
Dragon Swarm!
I've still got some fight
Demon
left
Fang!
in me. Here! Gale Force!
Down the
Dance in the wind!
Shine!
Sleep now by the power of
Regeneration!
Okay, we are doing it, guys. We are doing it. Careful.
Fluid Skip!
Eagle Ray!
It's over! Here I come! Fluid Skip! You're finished! Double Demon Fang!
Come on, come on.
Soaring Blast! Eagle Ray!
You're finished!
Let's do our thing with Alpha again. Boost break.
Dragon Swarm!
Oh, wrong way, old sport. Wrong way.
It's over! Double Demon Fang!
Law, can you do something here? Oh,
Stay away from my friend!
Dohas.
Sleep now.
Oh, did we just miss it?
Bring you back from
Strike!
resuscitation. Will this help? Here's a healing art.
Take this!
First aid.
Double Demon Fang!
Here goes. Warrior
Dance in the wind!
reload. Will this help?
Double Demon
Only
Fang!
run.
I'll face you!
Healing circle.
Stardust!
There we go.
Wide open!
We broke that core. Alright, everyone, let's do it.
Rotating pile driver!
Demon Fang!
Radiant light! Crescent flash!
Dragon Swarm!
Healing circle.
Sorry, trouble.
You do the same for me.
Mirage! Dragon Swarm!
Oh,
Here's the wind. Sleep now.
Mirage! Dragon Swarm!
Rending you apart!
there we go. Alright, let's hit it. Let's hit it.
Ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Boom.
Dragon Swarm!
Okay, let's do our boost breaking thing again.
Dragon! It's gonna attack!
Oh, that probably does nothing.
Dragon Swarm! Double Demon Fang!
Oh,
Time to let it rip!
okay, my turn.
Strike!
Still got some fight left in me.
Is this it?
Oh god. Okay, let's bring ourselves back.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
I'm not done!
Dohas, can you hold this guy down?
Double Demon Fang! It's over!
Law, can you help out?
You'll pay for that!
Here's evil.
Honestly, you guys, stop picking on Dohas.
Strike! Double
Bring you
Demon
back
Fang!
from death's abyss.
It's bad form.
If it's in the sky, it's mine. Holy man.
Radiant light!
This one's mine.
Alright, Shion. Alright, I think. Oh, let's move. Oh, that was close. Okay, I think an orange gel is in order. Just get a bit of that CP back. Get out.
In here.
Jeez, is that us doing that fire attack?
Back into the fray.
You're mine!
Annihilation. By the power of flame. I'll bring you back from death's
Dragon
abyss now.
Swarm!
I'll be saving you.
Oh god. I'm trying to jump up so I can hit that, you know, the weak glowy point of his.
Healing circle. Thanks so much. Thanks.
Mirage!
Radiant.
But yeah, I seem to be unable to. Alright, let's just hit him with everything we got. That tends to be a good strategy.
I'll bring you back to death's abyss.
Ignite!
What can we do here?
Dragon Swarm!
You
Take
get
this!
this.
Dohas, what do you got?
Dragon Swarm!
I'm almost impressed.
Okay, come on, let's get out of there. We're gonna die. Oh, there we go. We died. Alright, first let's bring ourselves back. Then maybe another orange gel. Alright, let's do the orange gel thing. Let's go.
Here, let me help. Confiscate. First aid.
I'm not done!
Law, you got anything?
Into the shadows.
Kisara, you got anything?
I'm all soaring black. It's about to strike.
Look sharp,
This one's
everyone!
mine.
It's over!
Let's get out of the way. Nice one.
Hear my call.
Okay, he's starting to feel it.
Eat dirt!
Glacial spear. Here's the evil.
Oh, God. Okay, let's life bottle. Oh, for goodness sake.
From beyond,
Here's a healing
imbue
arm.
this vanquished
First
soul
aid.
with love. Resuscitate anything in armor at all.
Dohas.
Will this coordinate from
Great, there we go. Okay, this ends in a second as soon as we've brought back Dohas. Alright guys, let's do it. Everyone.
Here's a healing art. Don't get in my way.
Okay, no one's going to bring us back, so let's bring ourselves back.
This should do it!
Dohas is down as well. Oh my days.
Can't be happening.
Oh my word, everyone's dying. What is going on here? Okay, Dohas, come back.
I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this. Deus Roar!
And I just want to bring back Shion so she'll get some experience for this. Okay, and let's finish him with style. Boom. Alright, that wasn't too bad. A bit fiddly. I'm trying out some new things here. Trying out some new tactics. Probably shouldn't be trying them out in the middle of a boss battle, but
Faria, can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning.
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me.
nice one, Dohas.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case,
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me, Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnagin, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already past, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion.
Huh?
Thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right? Let's move on.
Indeed, let's move on. So I'm guessing we came from there. No, wait, did we? We came from there, so we want to be going this way. Okay, let's check out the skit quickly.
Do you think Faria was really being controlled by someone?
Certainly seemed that way. The question is, who? The Red Woman?
The same person who's behind all of this, I'll bet. Whoever that is.
Brainwashed or otherwise, the feelings of resentment she holds towards me are real.
Someone used her because they knew we'd hold back. If that's not playing dirty, I don't know what is.
It does tell us one thing at least. Someone here in Lenegis is watching us. Someone who means us harm.
There's no question. That attack was meant for us alone.
By someone capable of getting inside a person and manipulating them like a weapon. We need to find whoever it is, fast.
Yeah. No doubt it was that red woman that we saw in the skit, the cutscene before Faria got possessed.
What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dahna's astral energy.
Yeah, the background there looks a bit like the architecture in the Wedge. A kind of organic-y kind of look.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
What? What? We're getting these flashbacks, which is cool, but they seem to be in fragments. We kind of need to see the whole thing. Like, what?
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her, it reminds me of Shion's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dahna.
But the will of Dahna is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dahna's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure!
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dahna's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Shion's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
I love it when they do this deductive reasoning.
To understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way. Soon, we might very well learn the truth behind Shion's thorns. As well as my own past. I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens.
What? The only way is forward, I suppose?
I'm determined to save Shion and Dahna. Nothing I learn can change that.
Let's just check out the skit quickly.
That vision we saw. It was as if it was meant specifically for us.
What do you make of it? Do you still think the will of Dahna might be involved somehow?
Maybe it's trying to tell us something. But what?
Well, it could be supernatural. You know, like seeing dead people, messages from beyond the grave, ghost-type stuff.
That's your grand theory? That we're being haunted? Come on, Law.
Wait. He might be closer to the mark than you think. What if a person's thoughts and deeds were to somehow become indelibly etched into the ether of a place? And what if those with a connection could then somehow pick up on them?
You think that's what it was? Some kind of message someone left here for us?
I am merely entertaining the possibility. Whether it was Dahna's will, or somehow connected to the Sovereign and Maiden's powers, I do not know.
Okay, back up a sec. You're saying that if a place is full of enough astral energy, it can somehow show us events that happened centuries ago?
More to the point, how does that much astral energy gather in one place anyway? Seems unlikely it happened naturally.
Whatever it was, it survived here intact for 300 years. Whoever left it for us, the strength of their intent is beyond doubt.
The strength of their intent.
Very good. Alright, let's go. Okay, Forbidden Zone. So that's the...
Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there. Curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right? Sure. We can check it out.
Can't we, like, come back to it in a second? Oh, maybe the ways to go up. Okay. Alright, Alphen, go on.
This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised at this point?
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out. It might give us a new lead.
Oh, let's check out the Forbidden Zone.
For the people of Lenegis, the Forbidden Zone is the stuff of dreams. Yet here I am, standing within its hallowed halls.
It's off limits even for lords, then? Talk about an exclusive club.
Being exclusive is one thing, but how many important facilities let in only the Sovereign? Doesn't that seem a little strange?
Strange doesn't cover it. If it was only one room, maybe. But a place on this scale? How do they keep it from falling into ruin?
Yeah, that was my question.
Whoever the Sovereign is, they can't manage the upkeep of this whole place themselves.
Did no one ever talk about it when you were growing up?
No, not that I can remember. Then again, Sovereigns and Forbidden Zones weren't exactly breakfast table conversations.
The Forbidden Zone is a hallowed place, at one with the Sovereign's authority, grounds of the one true ruler who presides over all Renans. That is what we believed this place to be. No, what we were made to believe it was. But now, it is finally time to discover this area's true purpose, and why it was kept hidden behind the scenes for so long.
Alright, let's see what this is.
I think I can make this work.
Well, can you make head or tail of it?
These are experiment records, by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of years. Let's see. A composite being capable of controlling Dahnan astral energy, so as to convert its molecular and elemental makeup. The creation of a governing central figure, taking the form of a Dahnan. Codename Sovereign.
Sovereign?
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of stable astral energy containment. That must be the master cores. With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the Maiden and the Lords, too.
About the Lords? Why would they be on there?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are clearly of a piece with those of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. Not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from otherwise regular Renan citizens. In other words, it may be that all Renans are unwittingly being made subject to some kind of grand scheme.
What about the Sovereign? Does it say anything else?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through all of it would require specialized... Wait.
What is it? Did you find something?
It's a list of names, with the title, Test Subjects, Sovereign. It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait, I think I've found one that was successful. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Alphen.
Whoa. That's him.
They re-engineered me. Right here in this lab.
Alphen.
It's fine, really. What about the others? Was I the only one?
I'm guessing no.
Test subject number 10105. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA.
Who's it gonna be?
Given name, Volron.
Volron? But that means...
He's only sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
Okay, Doha's gonna speculate something.
The Sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over Rena and Lenegis combined. When a new Sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post and live out the rest of their days on Rena. So we were told. But according to these records, there have only ever been 2 Sovereigns, neither of whom had anything to do with the crown contest.
So then,
It's all lies, including the part about the Sovereign residing in Rena.
what's the point of the crown contest then?
The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler. It must always have been devised for some other purpose.
But even supposing that's true, someone must have been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the Sovereign, then who was it?
Crown contests have been held this whole time, in spite of the fact that there was already a Sovereign. Me. Meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie. The same person I'm willing to bet is behind all this.
Same person alive for 300 years?
The Red Woman?
Maybe. Maybe an institution?
It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the mastermind behind this scheme.
Yeah, maybe an organization or something?
She could be working for someone else. Someone back on the Renan homeworld.
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved somehow.
What about the data records? Is there no other information that could help us?
Not that I can see. Just file upon file of experiment results. There's nothing here about who's behind all this, or what their endgame is, unfortunately. I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you. You won't be able to read through it all, but you're welcome to take a look through what you can, while we're here.
Can't we download the data and take it back to the ship or something?
I'll do that.
read it at our leisure.
So this is where Alphen became the Sovereign. And Volron as well. The significance of this location would suggest...
Hey, it looks like the terminals in here turned on too.
We should look through them. They might contain valuable information.
Yes, let's just check out the skit quickly.
Only 2 sovereigns in over 300 years. So why has the experiment only succeeded twice in all this time? And if that's the case, why keep on doing it?
Why do you think...
Was there really no other way? Or could there be some other reason?
What are your thoughts, Sherlock Dohalim?
Forgive me.
Alphen.
I'm fine. I'm just a little shaken, that's all. I knew what I was already, so it's not like it's a surprise or anything. But it's strange. I've got all this rage inside of me, but I don't even know who it's for. I'm scared that I'll put a face to it, just to have someone to blame.
If that were to happen, then No. Then we'd help you fight it, before you ever got that far. Wouldn't we, everyone?
Yeah. We wouldn't just sit by and watch you spiral out of control.
That's right. No good can come from being consumed by hatred.
If you ever start to lose your way, you can count on us to guide you back. To remind you where home is.
And I would be happy to lend an attentive ear, should you ever have need.
Thank you, everyone. I think I'll be okay now.
Very good. Let's check out these terminals. Select a topic to explore. Lords. Each crown contest, 5 of the best qualified members of the Renan populace are chosen to act as lords, vying to serve as the next sovereign. During their tenure, they are granted level 3 authority as well as one of the 5 elemental realms to administer, and its corresponding master core. They are also designated an ID crest indicating the designated element. The selection process is based on astral artistry and physical and mental aptitude. Other variables such as age have no bearing whatsoever. Because only the strongest go to become lords, the position itself does not inherently make any individual stronger. It should be noted, however, that lords are not the only individuals capable of drawing out the Master Core's powers. All Renans must take part in the selection process, and acceptance of the position is mandatory. It is not allowed for those deemed suitable to decline. Furthermore, in the event that an acting lord is incapacitated and can no longer serve in their position, a replacement must be quickly prepared. Unique Adjustment Index Test Subject Report. The following is a report of the second successful case of Sovereign Test Subject experimentation. Subject 10105, Volron. Although subject possesses high latent potential, it exhibits significant mental instability along with a strong distaste for following orders. As such, the risks it poses surpasses even those of the last successful subject, itself a failure, and is therefore under consideration for disposal. Addendum, this is the first successful case in 300 years. Previously mentioned risk factors are now mitigated due to established control protocols. Subject is to be evaluated on the assumption that Plan 2 will proceed and will be dispatched to Dahna under the guise of serving as a lord. Okay. Alright, let's exit the terminal there. Let's look at this one. Master Cores. Master Cores are instruments of power containing astral energy that belongs to one of the 6 elements. 6? 5 of these Master Cores, those of Earth, Water, Fire, Wind, and Light, are loaned to Renan Lords at the time of the Crown Contest. Only the Dark Master Core is maintained inside the Forbidden Zone until the Renas Alma is ready to be reformed, its existence kept top secret. Underneath the Master Core's spherical outer layer is a force field crystal used for the purposes of astral energy containment and stabilization. Inside the force field, astral energy is stored in a dormant state. For the duration of their tenure, each Lord competes in the Crown Contest to amass their allotted type of astral energy. In the event of an emergency, each Lord may be allowed to withdraw from their respective stock of astral energy as necessary. However, the extent allowed is determined based on their own individual strength. Addendum 1, design flaws have been discovered in how the Renas Alma materializes. Be advised that active Master Cores may resonate with other Master Cores located in close proximity and become unstable. Addendum 2, due to successful regeneration of the Renas Alma, Master Cores will cease to be deployed and the Crown Contest will be permanently halted. Okay, Spirit Cores. Spirit Cores are end terminals used for the collection of astral energy. When embedded in a biological subject, it establishes connections throughout its body. These connections are used to amass astral energy generated from physical activity, which is then emitted from the host body itself. Because this emitted energy is prone to diffuse, the host must be placed within a range of a spirit vessel for the energy to be collected. This means that Dahnans must be employed to harvest the astral energy for the purpose of the Crown Contest. Hence the slaves in Episode 1. Given the difficulty in producing them, it is advised that spirit cores to be retrieved from the host bodies and reused upon their death. Spirit cores can also be embedded in zeugles to control them via astral arts. Addendum. Increased physical load on a host body tends to produce increased astral energy emissions. Final confirmation of ideal workload to impose on the host bodies without induced death for maximum astral energy yields is still pending. Okay. It's all coming together. Lenegus. A large-scale astral energy converter that primarily converts the elemental composition of Dahna's astral energy and transmits it to Rena. Activation and control of astral energy conversion is achieved by placing the Sovereign, Maiden, and Renas Alma within the central core of Lenegus. It is comprised of classified and essential personnel residence zones around this large conduit, along with a defensive layer surrounding them. This outer layer is deployed upon activation, unlocking the central conduit, which simultaneously functioning as the stabilization mechanism. Due to its design, deployment of the outer layer is expected to cause damage to residential zones. However, because that only takes place during the final stage of the spirit channeling ceremony, no contingency plan to address this damage is needed. Until that phase, Lenegus serves as the central base of operations for the management and execution of the crown contest on Dahna. Warning, any personnel with level 3 authority or lower is strictly forbidden from the classified zone. Any violators will be immediately executed. Obviously. Detachable Harvester. A massive spirit vessel placed on Dahna for the spirit channeling ceremony. It serves as the tip of Lenex's conduit from which it separates. Upon landing on Dahnan waters, it extends 2 sets of conducting pathways, the vertical pathways connected to the center of Dahna. Meanwhile, the horizontal pathways proceed to envelop the entire surface of Dahna. Once activated, it links to the biological spirit vessels placed in each realm, efficiently harvesting the planet's astral energy en masse. The accumulated energy is then transmitted to Rena via Lenegus. Because construction and adjustment take place in the Forbidden Zone's regular area, Lenegus' outer layer must be deployed prior to launch. Intended to function semi-autonomously, only maintenance personnel are expected to manually interface with it when necessary. No other personnel is required for it to function. Addendum 1, Detachable Harvester 1 was lost on Dahna after exploding due to the rampancy exhibited by the Sovereign. Detachable Harvester 2 landing point will remain the same as that of the previous model. This is due to the explosion of the previous model, which altered the planetary topography, enabling easier connection to the center of Dahna. Okay. And last one, Sedative Mask. A device covering the wearer's whole face that restricts the mental activity. It was deployed for the purposes of pacifying prisoners. Medical applications are also recognized, particularly as a means of preventing patients from sustaining mental trauma. However, doing so is not recommended, as prolonged use of the device carries the risk of inducing a number of adverse side effects. Due to the loss of production facilities incurred from the partial destruction of Lenegus, additional devices will no longer be manufactured. Okay, so that's the mask that we had right at the beginning. Brainwashing Report. After receiving reports of a robust new form of rule emerging on Dahna's water realm, a study was commissioned to investigate the matter in depth. The system is unique in that it elevates only the Lord to the supreme authority while relegating both Renans and Dahnas alike to enslavement. Test Subject 1005 serves as the realm's current Lord and has achieved this without the use of any special powers, drugs, or special advices. Rather, it was done so by sheer governance. Given this method's effectiveness at population control, monitoring the situation will continue. Addendum 1, collapse of cognitive facilities via extreme mental repression rooted in violence and fear has proved to be key for this style of rule. Once the subject loses its autonomy, they become desensitized to fear and subsequently cease to prioritize even their own personal safety. Though such a state is ill-suited for commanding officers, it remains an effective way to cultivate disposable infantry and slaves for manual labor. Addendum 2, soldiers on Lenegus who have undergone this treatment will be asked to secure classified sectors as a trial. The results will be monitored. Wow. Okay. Nothing else to check here, I don't think. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What have we unearthed? Okay guys, we're going to take a quick break here. When we get back, we're going to carry on in the Forbidden Zone and find out all that's forbidden from us, and hopefully get to the bottom of this mess and bring this whole mother down, because, yeah, someone needs to pay for all this. But that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.